Hello guys, NautoAis here, and this is a response to Kit and Krysta on their latest podcast about what question that Nintendo doesn't want to answer. And it's a very interesting topic that they talk about, especially when it comes to business. And if you notice to some extent that the lack of interview with Doug Bowser, you gotta keep in mind that Doug Bowser is not Reggie Fils-Aimé. So when it comes to some sort of like Q&A, he might not be an expert in the market side, but again, he is the president of Nintendo right now, whether you like it or not. So they gave some example of question that how to answer it, that if you're trying to be transparent to some extent, they might turn it around, they might read the words between the words, and that could get ugly to some extent there. But also another one that I want to add here, probably this is a nothing burger, but there might be some that might talk about this. And believe it or not, during the 3DS release, there were some people that asked Nintendo about the lack of achievement on the 3DS. And like I said before, that when Bill Trenton kind of answered it, he basically said, well, Nintendo's policy is games are for fun. We don't really like people compete to each other, that they feel better than others, trying to get some E-points. And adding to that is that Miyamoto is not a fan of achievement and trophies. It's like a dangling carrot, so it is what it is there. So when the Switch 2 comes, some might ask, hey, I've been noticing that, again, we don't know yet if the Switch 2 will have a universal achievement system or not, but let's just say if it still doesn't or they're thinking about it, someone might ask, oh, will this console finally have some sort of achievement system like trophies and achievement? And they might say yes or no. Answer probably going to get to some extent is that, well, we really want to feel our consumers or player that our games are fun, a very interactive game, very deep, if you know what I mean, that we want our players to exert playing the game rather than trying to do this mediocre task just to get electronic award that doesn't really do anything. Maybe there is something, but the bottom line is kind of like what Kit and Krysta said about sometimes if you're trying to be transparent, they're going to read between the lines. So if someone said, well, we believe that games are for fun, we don't see it as something like that, someone might say, so you're kind of telling me that because you're saying that games are meant to be for fun, because that's what Nintendo's all about, is it really to some extent that you guys don't have the knowledge to do it? Again, someone might ask that. They say, do you have the knowledge to do something like this feature? And remember, Kit basically said that there was a suggestion and another higher up said, yeah, we don't do that type of policy. We don't copy anyone else. And again, the philosophy of games is for fun. People should enjoy the game. Again, that may be true, but in 2025 beyond, sometimes the gaming market is changing a bit, whether you like it or not. There are people, including myself, do enjoy earning achievements or trophies. So they might ask the question like, oh no, we still believe of games are for fun. We don't like people to feel like they're better than others. Again, that may be a good philosophy, but like I said, someone might say, oh, so you're telling me you just don't know how to do it, that's why you won't do it. And that is true. That is a possibility that even so, they're trying to back it up with quote-unquote the philosophy, but between the lines, they might say what really means is, yeah, we don't know how to do it. I mean, again, that's the reason why they hired Dana with the Nintendo Switch Online, is to help them to do a universal account that whatever that account is, that's how you basically recognize your game purchases. And again, maybe also the achievement. I mean, that goes with PSN, with the trophies, Xbox account, with Gamerscore. Just saying there. So they might keep saying the philosophy is, yeah, games is for fun. We don't like our players to do certain tasks that it's not really fun. But between the lines, someone might think, oh, because you don't know how to do it, that's why you won't do it. Why can't you do it? Why not have that option and let people decide for themselves? Why are you telling people how to play your game? Again, in hindsight, it might sound like, well, we don't want people to play a certain way. But the reverse of that is, you're kind of telling people how to play the game. What if someone do like to earn achievement or trophy? They want to do that mediocre task. Why are you telling them that it's bad? Again, between the lines there. So it's going to be interesting once April 2nd comes, if they're going to mention on the Nintendo Direct whether the console will finally have a universal achievement or not. And if they don't, and they still say, because games only for fun, between the lines, like I said before, that is a keyword. They probably still don't know how to do it. And even as of right now, with the help with Dina, they probably still don't know how to do it. It's kind of suck. I mean, if you notice on the mobile games, they don't even support my Nintendo Rewards anymore. Pocket Camp Complete doesn't even do it because it's a very offline game. Fire Emblem Heroes, starting with Book 9, doesn't even have any My Nintendo Coins Reward anymore. So, I mean, unless you have Super Mario Run, that's it. Like, really, that's it. So, unless they're shifting it to the console, that might be good, but we'll just have to wait and see. So, yeah, that is my response to Kit and Krysta on what type of question that Nintendo doesn't want to answer. This one's sort of probably very, very low in the list, but you never know if someone's going to ask something about a universal achievement system. And again, if they say that, video games for fun, this is our philosophy, maybe that is true, that is good, but to some extent, between the line, like I said, keyword, they don't know how to do it as of 2025. They had 7 years to see like what the people wanted. Even I mentioned, a lot of people mentioned it, to a point that people who don't care even have to acknowledge it to some extent. I mean, heck, to some extent, shout out to Matt from Yo Video Game. I was watching one of his streams. I did a post there, and I said, all I care for the Switch 2 for me personally is that at least have some sort of universal achievement. And Matt's response was, don't really care. Some people even said, don't really care about it. Yeah, I understand, but I just want to have a conversation about the achievement. To some extent, quote unquote, getting in their face, I know. Because the point is, if you don't know, ever since with the Switch, that's always been a conversation. Heck, even since the 3DS. But it wasn't a major until the Switch. Because, like I said, some people say, how come you didn't buy the game on the Switch? And some people would say, lack of achievement or trophies. And again, to a point that Sony had to fix their PSN store because the top games were a bunch of trash games because, hey, at least I get trophies. And to a point that some people kind of give their opinion, said, I don't really care about trophies. See, when you see people even have to acknowledge about trophies and achievement and say, quote unquote, I don't care. Yeah, sort of a message is coming out there that they know some people want it. So it's up to Nintendo whether they do it or not. We'll just have to wait and see in April the 2nd. So there you go. With that, I'll see you guys later.